What's going on, everybody? It's John Brewer here with the Socially Distant Supper Club, and I am here with somebody that probably almost everybody knows, Chef Emerson. What's going on, Chef?
How's it going?
Good, good, good. And with Eric San Pedro.
How you doing?
These are the Palm Beach Meats, gentlemen. And you guys got a really incredible event coming up on Friday. Can you tell us a little more about it?
Sure thing. So we're doing what we're calling the Wagyu Social. It's at the Social House in downtown Lake Worth, which is, I believe, 512 Lucerne. And we're going to be doing 6 courses, 6 Wagyu courses, prepared by Chef Emerson and Chef James Cruz, which both of these guys are very well-known chefs in the area. And each course is going to be paired with wine. And it's in a beautiful venue, yes. Outdoor seating.
Outdoor seating, plenty of outdoor space.
Plenty of outdoor seating. Yeah, we have 6 tickets
you're
left.
You're only doing like 30 seats, right? You got 6 tickets left.
That's
What's
correct.
the price on the tickets?
$295.
$295. And somebody may get a little sticker shock on that, but let's talk about this meat because I've had it before. And for those of you who haven't tried Wagyu steak, you are missing out. Now, how's it rated again? There's all these different ratings, right?
So for the Japanese, this is an A5, which is essentially...
The marbling in that is incredible.
Yeah.
This is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is literally... This piece of meat has won the Wagyu Olympics twice.
Wow.
It's you can't get any better.
Can't do any better than
this.
that.
This is
and this
like
is the stuff that's going to be served on Friday.
This is one of the cuts. Yeah, so the dinner Friday is actually going to be a selection of a couple of different Japanese cuts.
Okay.
As well as a couple of Australian cuts. All things that we carry consistently. But it's also just going to be kind of showing a couple of different preparation methods. There's different ways to cook the different steaks.
You told me last time you don't want to put this on your grill.
No, this will just cause a big old fire.
Make a big flame, right? It's like pouring
we
have
have
on it.
We have a customer who actually tagged us in a post and showed.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, showed what they were doing, and a few days later we had to clarify that that wasn't the way it was supposed to be done, and they said, yeah, we realized that after, but it was still good.
No, I bet it was. Probably not as pristine as it would normally look, but...
No, I mean, everybody's like, oh, I don't know, is this something, I'm so intimidated about cooking something like this. Well, the good news is that, you undercook it and it's delicious. You overcook it and it's still incredible.
Yeah, it's got an amazing tenderness to it. It really just kind of melts in your mouth. It just dissolves. Yeah. Incredible flavors. So what's the difference between the Japanese and the Australian? Is it just the location, or...?
So it's all genetics. Wagyu means Japanese cow.
Gotcha.
The genetics are exported. We have American programs too. The different countries have their own programs, but nothing is, in my opinion, probably any expert's opinion, nothing is like Japanese Wagyu. It's not just the genetics; it's the way that they're raised. Each cow is given a name. When you order Japanese Wagyu, you get a certificate of authenticity, has a nose print on it, the name, the harvest date, all kinds of information. There's no program as tightly regulated as in Japan, but the runner-up, in my opinion, would be the Australian. The Australian programs are really good. A lot of them are mixed breed. They're crossing Angus cattle with the Wagyu cattle, but you still get highly marbled. It's a different score. Goes up to a 9 being the highest. We at Palm Beach Meats really only serve sell anything above a 6.
A 6 or higher?
Yeah.
I mean, you're only going to get a 6 or higher if you go to Palm Beach Meats. And we're at an undisclosed location right now. The guys are going to have their own storefront that'll be opening up. What are you projecting? A couple of months?
Yeah, I'll be ambitious and say April.
Okay.
Sometime in April.
Sounds good. The city cooperates and you get all your permits and all
right?
that good stuff. So how about you hold the mic?
Sure.
I'm going to grab the camera and we're just going to kind of give the folks a shot because I think this stuff looks amazingly incredible. And just so you guys can get a look at that marbling that's on there, really is something special. And this is genetics or how they're raised. When you say they're raised, what do you mean by how they're raised?
So, well, the first thing is genetics. The Wagyu fat actually has a different melting point than Angus or any other breed of cattle, where you might be able to see it's melting.
It's melting in my hand.
It melts at room temperature. So that's what's creating the buttery, melt in your mouth experience when you eat it. Because I mean, you can hold it and it'll melt. So that's the genetic component to Wagyu, and that's the genetics that they export. Now, in Japan, from top to bottom, the goal is to reduce the amount of stress that the cow experiences throughout its life.
Okay.
So from noise pollution to clean water to feed, they're constantly caring for these cows in a way that no one else is doing it. And the results, like I said, are vastly different.
And I love the fact that the Japanese look at things that way. I've always been a fan. I used to dabble in Taoism and stuff like that, but the emotions that the animals are going through before you consume them, their idea was always that stuff would transfer over. So if they're living in a stressful environment, the food is not going to nourish you in the same way. Right. I think that's really interesting. I think there's definitely some truth to that, and the meat is absolutely gorgeous. So let's get with Chef and see. This is going to be one of the courses you guys are going to be serving up?
So this is not directly one of the courses, but it's definitely a variation of what we're going to be doing. Like I said, we're going to be doing a bunch of different preparations. And so one of them is going to be more of like what's called a Tataki Style. The Tataki Style just refers to a thinly sliced meat that's normally just lightly cooked. In this case, we're going to be doing the Tataki Style with a torch. So really, you're just sort of like activating the fat there and beginning to lightly cook it, giving it a little bit of rendering of the fat, but without really compromising the texture of the protein too much. So what I've done is taken it and cut it into some thin strips here. So this is going to be for the Tataki Style. So we're just going to start by getting the fat to start rendering.
Look at that, it just ignites, huh?
Yeah. It starts to caramelize really, really quickly. You can see the fat starting to caramelize up here. This is definitely one of my favorite ways to eat it.
Almost like it reminds me of almost a seared sashimi almost, you know?
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
You just really just want to toast the outside a little bit. Like you said, get a little bit of that caramelizing going on. And other than that, you pretty much want to keep it the way it is.
So you're just starting to render the fat a little bit, and then as soon as it hits your mouth, it literally dissolves. You know?
Hear it sizzling from here. We've got some chives here. What's that over there, the red you got?
So this is actually pickled ginger shoots.
Okay.
So it's super young ginger. It's really, really fragrant, concentrated flavor. This is a little bit of a finishing salt that I use. It's like super umami. There's, dried mushrooms. There's some dried fish. So it's got that like fish sauce and sort of umami balance. So I don't season it in the beginning. I basically just cook the meat, season it after, and I let as the fats are being reabsorbed into the protein, the salts dissolve into that.
A lot of chemistry involved in cooking.
Yeah. Had I known.
You would have paid more attention, right?
I was
Dude, I was such a great math, but once I hit chemistry, man, I was
pretty good at recreational chemistry.
We heard that.
Yeah.
By the way, you're celebrating what, 5-6 years sobriety now?
6 years next month. Yeah.
Awesome stuff, man. We're very proud of you for that. Kitchen can be a very stressful job, and it's an incredible experience, and it is what it is, man.
Yeah. But, you know, this is part of it, you know, finding something that you love and being able to dedicate your time to it.
You really tapped into this Wagyu beef, huh? You found something that really excites you here?
This stuff is just, it's an incredible product to be able to work with, you know, I mean, I've worked with it for years. I mean, I remember when this was an item that, you know, working in kitchens in New York, there was a guy that showed up at the back door with a cooler, you know, and it was like, at that point, there was maybe 1 or 2 people in the entire country that were bringing this stuff into the U.S.
Right.
So, you know, it made its way onto some menus, but it wasn't one of those items that a lot of people were familiar with and able to work with, especially this level product. So, like, you know, then I found Palm Beach Meats, and I started working with them as a customer first, you know, for a lot of private chef work. And, you know, it was a symbiotic relationship. It was like, look, man, like, we have an opportunity to be able to kind of showcase the product and what can be done with it at the same time, you know.
And symbiotic in that he cooks, I eat. Yin, yang. I'm yang.
You
So-
make, I eat.
This is, we got a little bit of fried shallot.
Okay.
This is black truffle shoyu that I make. So basically shoyu is a white soy. And what I do is I save the scraps when I have black truffles. I'll shave them. And there's always that little nub that you don't know what to do with. A lot of people will save it. They'll put it in a jar of rice or something, and they'll cook the rice because it'll have that fragrant, you know, they'll use it for aromatics at some point. But I just shave it into the bottom of a bottle, and I let it sit. And this stuff is like, think about truffle soy sauce.
Truffle soy sauce, that sounds incredible.
Pure
So you're gonna
chemistry.
put that on top.
And then, yes, so we're going to have some of the green onions.
So this is the kind of stuff that's going to be available on Friday for the Wagyu.
Yeah, doing a
Wagyu
very-
dinner.
Very, very similar dish.
If people want to get tickets, how do they get them, Eric?
You can go to our Facebook, our Instagram, our website. The link to the Eventbrite is on all of those.
This is furikake. So furikake is a blend of seaweeds. This particular one has seaweed and some dried shrimp, and then also a tiny bit of wasabi, just so you can have a little bit of heat. And then this is some frilly cilantro from Swank Farms out in Loxahatchee.
And you're the director of Swank Farms, right? You do a lot of the curating of the
So,
chefs and
yeah.
everything over there. So you're
I'm,
involved in them as well.
I'm the resident chef for this season, so yeah, I'm responsible for putting together all of the various dinners. We've got a pretty cool one coming up this Sunday. It's Japanese izakaya, which is Japanese pub food.
Yes.
And yeah, we've got a bunch of really talented guys. We've got 2 of my buddies out of Miami that run a yakitori pop-up called Yaki Boys 305. We've got Takeshi from Kaminari Ramen in Fort Lauderdale.
You're wearing their shirt, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Represent in the house.
Wagyu Boys.
Yeah, Wagyu Boys. And then we've also got Kasi and Corey are doing the dessert course.
Ah, I know Taylor.
Yep. And then we've got Marcel, the sous chef from Lionfish in Del Rey, is doing a course as well.
What a star-studded all-star lineup.
It's
you got going
it's
there. That's
pretty
this Sunday
pretty
at
nice.
Swank.
Yeah.
So Friday you got the Wagyu beef. What do you call it? The
Wagyu Social.
Wagyu Social. Sunday, Swank Farms. If you don't have any tickets, if you don't know what you're doing for food this week, that is absolutely gorgeous. And the prep was, looks fairly simple, but I love all the ingredients that you kind of made yourself. You've got the truffle soy and the what was that last one you threw on there? With the mixture of the shrimp and the seaweeds.
That's, a furikake. Yeah.
Excellent stuff. So this gives everybody an idea of what's going to be happening on Friday. We told you where to get your tickets. We told you how to get your tickets. Anything else you want to tell everybody before we check out here? 6
tickets left, and we'll see you on Friday.
6 tickets left. That's it.
Now
Once they're gone.
Now you have to eat it though.
I have to eat this?
Yeah.
I am the luckiest man in the world.
Maybe
I'm going to
Eric
get
can
to have
hold that
Wagyu
for you.
beef.
Maybe Eric can hold that for you so we can get just a little reaction. You know.
course.
The best
Okay,
part
here you go. All right.
The best part of this job
Yeah.
is getting getting to see what somebody is facing.
The first time they try it. So should I take a? We got a knife here to cut this, or
I think that's a 1 spoon.
that's a one. That's a one. That's a one and done.
Yeah, just get it on there and get it in.
All right, here we go. Hold on 1 second.
You can use your hands.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah, it does that. That's a common response.
I'm having a moment, please. The butteriness. Now, all those flavors you announced,
Yep.
it's not overwhelming.
Right.
It's not, it's complex.
You have the sweet, the salty, a tiny bit of like that herbaceous green.
There's not one iota feeling of ligament.
Right.
It's just pure.
It literally just dissolves, yeah.
If you guys haven't tried Wagyu steak, I recommend you get a ticket and come check out this event. That was one of the best mouthfuls of food that I've ever enjoyed, I gotta say. I mean, the textures and the flavor on the Wagyu steak is incredible. Like a little saltiness at the end, but not too much. All the flavors that you were talking about are there, but they're not overwhelming. It's just a really, really remarkable dish. So is everything you're going to be prepping, is it going to be in the style of Asian, or are you going to be doing different type of preps?
Well, there's a little bit of everything going on, yeah.
It really isn't.
That's the goal, too, is to show the versatility. I mean, just because it's a Japanese product doesn't mean that we have to stick with a Japanese theme.
Right. Now, one last question. Are there going to be beverages offered for this?
Yeah. So we actually worked with Sean from Sweetwater.
Oh, God.
And he's super talented, really great guy, good friend. And, he went above and beyond on creating a wine list because for a guy who knows food but doesn't drink, that was kind of out of my league, So I had to defer to the people that know that stuff well.
Always stick with the profession.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. I can handle this end of it, but I got to put my faith in somebody else when it comes to that end.
So for all of you that don't know Sean, Sean's probably one of the most talented mixologists in town. Sweetwater, poor and famous. The guy's just really, really got a great mind when it comes to putting beverages together. So between this food and those beverages, your taste buds will be in for a treat. Wagyu Social, check him out. Palm Beach Meats. I guarantee you're going to have a great time. 6 tickets left. Jump on it. All right, everybody. Take care now.